Welcome, everyone, to episode 43 of the Southern Conservative Podcast. My name is Ty. Earlier this morning, I posted my narrative of the Chappaquiddick incident. The narrative is meant to just give the facts of the story as they are believed to have happened. Remember, we only have the word of witnesses, statements made by Kennedy pleading guilty, and the sentencing. There are some things about this incident, the way Kennedy says it happened, that just don't make any sense. And I point that out. There's very little commentary in this narrative. It's meant to simply tell the story. At the end of the day, Kennedy received a 2-month suspended sentence for failing to report an accident that resulted in the death of a 28-year-old woman. And his failure to report the accident immediately caused the woman to die. Anyway, I'm not going to restate the narrative here. Go check out that video on the narrative. It's on this channel, and I'll provide a link to that narrative in the description box of this video. And go see the Chappaquiddick movie that's in theaters now if you haven't already. This is an excellent, excellent film, and it puts you right there at the crash, and you see the steps Kennedy and his team of lawyers took to cover up the accident and to diminish Kennedy's role in the accident. We have much to get to today. Let's first talk about the recent raid of Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen. There are so many news stories out there as far as what exactly Robert Mueller is looking at. There is a report out today that Mueller is looking at evidence related to the Access Hollywood tape. There are reports he wants to look at payments made to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. The question is whether campaign funds were used to pay these women. Cohen has already stated publicly that Trump was not involved in the payment to Stormy Daniels. When you have such a complex business organization that Trump has, he left Cohen to his own devices to handle different legal aspects of the business, and that included payment to shut up Stormy Daniels and to make her go away. And she accepted the money. Then there is the report of Mueller looking into money Trump received for giving a Skype speech in which he received $150,000 from a Russian involved in the Ukrainian steel industry. The problem here is the same Russian gave millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. Now, is that going to be investigated? Now, to make it look like Mueller is only investigating Russia collusion, he's offloading all of this onto the federal district court for the Southern District of New York. The question is, why is Mueller even looking into all of this? This is way, way off from Russia collusion. And raiding the home, office, and hotel room of Trump's personal attorney is a flagrant violation of attorney-client privilege. Look at what was confiscated in this raid: emails, tax documents, among other things. They got their hands on everything. And this has serious ramifications. Are people now going to feel confident that information they tell an attorney will be protected? What about the doctor-patient relationship or the priest-penitent relationship? Now, as to Mueller only investigating Trump-Russia collusion, this is such BS. Look at all of the charges out there. The most obvious ones against Paul Manafort for failing to register as a foreign agent and money laundering relating to consultant work he did for Ukrainian politicians, which occurred well before the 2016 campaign, has absolutely zero to do with Russia collusion. This investigation has gotten completely out of control. And now Trump is backed into a corner. He can't fire Mueller. He can't fire Rosenstein without committing political suicide. There's no recourse for this man. He can't fire the man who's trying to fire him, either through actual charges or by instilling ideas of impeachment in the minds of those in Congress. And while the recent raid on Cohen is a nothing burger, there's nothing here to directly implicate Trump in some sort of crime. There are other problems here. Besides a blatant violation of attorney-client privilege, what if Mueller, by using the Southern District of New York, looks into conversations Trump had with Cohen as it relates to Russia? Believe me, Mueller will be aware of what this court in New York does. Recall that Andrew Weissman, who is now part of the special counsel, was once an attorney for the Southern District of New York. Just offloading the investigation to the court in New York to make it look like Mueller is not investigating things he shouldn't be is an absolute farce. Here now is another investigation into Trump that all started because the special counsel has gone completely off the rails. A special counsel that should never have been appointed in the first place. So Trump has to deal with Mueller and now has to deal with the Southern District of New York. And where is Jeff Sessions in all of this? He recused himself from the investigation as it relates to Russia. This has absolutely nothing to do with Russia. Surely Sessions should have been made aware of this raid on Trump's attorney. We know that Rosenstein was made aware of this. If Sessions was made aware and he signed off on this, it's an absolute disgrace. If he was not made aware, then Sessions has zero control over the Justice Department. So people are now calling for Sessions to be fired. I would be supporting of this, but I know it's going to be one hell of a fight in the Senate to get another Attorney General appointed and confirmed, especially someone who will be tough on immigration and tough on keeping the special counsel in line. Because right now you have the Senate trying to make it impossible for Trump to fire Mueller. This is absolutely amazing coming from our lawmakers. You have senators and congressmen who have come forward saying the president needs to let Mueller do his job. Are you kidding me? It's pretty clear Mueller is actively trying to take down the president. Mueller completely violated attorney-client privilege in the raid on Trump's lawyer. Nothing is off limits or out of bounds for this special counsel. Then you have the situation in Syria in which Bashar al-Assad used chemical weapons in a recent attack. The United States cannot let this stand. I'm not saying we need an all-out war with Syria. There certainly is no appetite for that, and it wouldn't be necessary. We can't police the entire world, but we cannot let chemical weapons be used to kill people as a humanitarian matter. Russia said that if the United States launches missiles into Syria, they will shoot them down. Of course, Russia is backing Assad in this civil war. But today, we learn Russia is moving its ships out of their port in Syria because Russia's afraid we're going to blow them up. Trump absolutely means business here, and I support the president in this fight to make sure chemical weapons are not used in warfare. Then today we learn that Speaker of the House Paul Ryan will not be seeking re-election this November. He will continue to serve out the rest of his term until January. And people are saying this is evidence that Ryan knows there will be a blue wave this November. Republicans are going to get their ass kicked, and he doesn't want to be around in the minority. Ryan says he wants to be more than just a weekend dad, citing that he was in the House before he ever had children 20 years ago. I can understand the man wanting to be home with his kids more. As far as this blue wave, it's April. The elections are in November. That's an eternity in politics. Now, the House is very vulnerable. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. And Republicans certainly need to get out there and fight and make the contrast between the Republicans and the Democrats, and what the Republicans stand for and what the Democrats stand for. And there is a sharp contrast, although that contrast went out the window with the omnibus bill. By the way, it's very important that the president submits a request to Congress to rescind some of the domestic spending. That will go a long way to ease concerns from conservative voters. But the House and the Senate cannot stop now, and they need to at least make an effort to accomplish some of Trump's agenda. But we need to also get out there and vote for Republicans this November, because not doing so ensures the House will be under control of Democrats, Trump will be impeached, and Trump's agenda will come to a grinding halt. No chance of repealing Obamacare, no chance of building a border wall, no chance of making the individual tax cuts permanent. Nancy Pelosi and Democrats in the House will never stand for that. Instead, they will push measures to raise taxes, grant amnesty to millions of illegal immigrants, among other things, including drawing up articles of impeachment against Trump. So if you like the policies of Trump now, and you want Trump to continue making America great, he needs the backers in the House and Senate. It's imperative for House Republicans to get out there and tell the American people the successes we have had and what will happen with Nancy as Speaker. And we need to get out there early and get ahead of the Democrats in this narrative. And also force Democrats to come up with a national narrative that will most likely be very left-wing, and that may disenfranchise more moderate Democrats in these toss-up districts. So don't give up hope out there on being a blue wave. We have a long way to go, and many things can happen between now and then. If the economy is still rocking and rolling, if we can come up with some sort of denuclearization agreement on the Korean Peninsula, if we pull out of the Iran nuclear agreement, if we bring China to its knees and force them to have more fair trading with America, if we can actually get funding for a real border wall, it will go a long way to helping Republicans. I want to remind everyone to please check out my Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/Southern Conservative. That's facebook.com/Southern Conservative. There you will find links to conservative news articles on stories you may not hear about in the mainstream media. Plus, if you follow the news feed, you'll find links to the daily podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on notifications so you will be alerted each time a new podcast has been posted. New podcasts are posted daily, Monday through Thursday. I want to end this podcast with an example of true Americanism and civility. The Alabama Crimson Tide football team was invited to the White House, and they went to the White House. There is a video of the team praying with and for Donald Trump. I'm sure all of these men don't agree with Trump's policies. I'm sure some don't even personally like the president. But to see the team put those differences aside and praying for the president is incredible. That's something that is truly American. All of us, regardless of party and regardless of ideology, should want this president to succeed and want this president to make America better for all Americans, to implement policies that will allow all Americans to be the best they can be, not to put up hurdles that stifle innovation and ingenuity. It's absolutely incredible to see this, and I hope that you will check out that article and video I posted to my Facebook page. And that is it for today, folks. I hope you have a great day, and please be back tomorrow for another podcast on Thursday. Have a great day, everybody.